Hello, namaste, and welcome in the series of cybersecurity. This side is Meena, and today I will discuss about what are the top 10 indicators of compromise. What are the indicator of exposure, and how do you get benefit out of knowing about indicator of exposure? If some kind of attack happen in your organization, then how do you come to know that attack already happened? There must be some way to know it. Yes, this is the attack already happens, or you are having some kind of intuition. Yeah, we are try to find out. Yes, what are the ways we can say yes, this attack happened already in our organization. So what evidence we expect? That is comes under indicator of compromise. Understand? So indicator of exposure is proactive approach, and indicator of compromises is a reactive approach. In case of indicator of exposure, we are observing our security postures, our security setting, devices, each and everything of our organization, and we're just trying to find out any kind of loophole existing, so that before the hackers will take advantage and can penetrate into our network, can exfiltrate our data from our organization, can perform any kind of attack in our organization. We want to just know it. We don't want to leave any space for hackers to perform an attack. So indicator of exposure is just giving us a proactive data evidences about the weaknesses exist in our system. Okay, and if how just we are going to achieve with the help of the pen testing, with the help of the vulnerability test, risk assessment, you can do lot many things to find out what are the security postures right now in our organization, what is their strength, okay, and what are their weaknesses, so that we can just patch it up. If this weakness is existing in our network, let's patch it up so that hacker will not find it out and secure our organization. But somehow if any attacks or happen in our organization and we want to collect the forensic data of it, how just do you come to know yes, this attack is happening? Closely observe the network traffic. Which type of traffic is just passing through your network, what protocols they are using, is that usual kind of data is just carried by the certain protocol, which port they are using. Okay. Or observe the privileged account do you have in your organization, what the activities was done, uh, uh, how frequently those credentials are used to access the critical assets. Okay, from which locations you are getting the traffic, is that usual, or inside your organization the device which is trying to communicate some other domains which usually your users don't uh, try to communicate. If that's happened, might be there are the servers established about by the hackers, and they are just using for the command and control. Okay, check your logs, login attempts, how many times failure accounts are there. Okay, just you come to know about the brute force who is just trying to hit and trial method. Okay, what are the records read in the database, or is there any kind of SQL injection or any kind of attacks into your database, some new entries or some deletion or some reading the data, who is just trying to access which user or the admin is frequently accessing that data, what the quantity of the data they are accessing, is that the required, to certain user or not. You have administrator account for database administrator DBMA, and they are not usually access that database from certain locations. So what it's proves like the credential has been stolen and the hacker is using. Okay, and what kind of HTML response you are receiving? Maybe you are just getting unusual request to uh, uh, scrolling down the website, storing some, trying to store some information, trying to steal some information. Okay, or is there any kind of request you are receiving for certain file? For example, hackers just know we are using PHP for our web server, understand, and over there the config file is just having the extension say conf, and they don't know the name of the certain file, so they are just uh, trying the uh, uh, default file name or some the uh, which is just easy to guess. Certain query is just coming for a specific file. That means attack, there is attack happen in our organization. To perform attack, hackers somehow enter into our network, and to exfiltrate data they just open certain port. Observe it, which ports are open, have you opened it, or newly opened port, which application is using certain port, closely observe. And to perform an attack, definitely they need some certain kind of software. Okay, or they need to make entry into the registries as well, because we are using a lot of security services, security uh, um, devices. So just to conceal their movement, they need to make the changes into the registry. Check it. Either, for example, you having the backup of your registry. Now just take again the backup of your registry and compare it. Is there any change into it? Find it out where the changes are. Understand? And another thing, we can observe the DNS queries. Hackers can establish DNS tunneling to exfiltrate data through the DNS protocol, because they are heavily using the DNS queries to exfiltrate the data to entering into our system, because these are the journal queries, journal protocol, which are allowed on firewall. We cannot block it. Understand? Here is the top 10 indicator of compromise. You can check it. Is that everything is okay, or some malicious activity is happening on your network? So follow me on the cybersecurity prism and get the notification for the next interesting and informative session. Also share that session with your friends, group members, so that they can understand indicator of compromise, indicator of exposure, and just if any kind of attack happen, how what they should watch closely. See you in the next session. Namaste.